I'm Xavier along with Lamonte, and tonight we will be debating who should be the coach of the year at this point in the NBA season. Lamonte, who do you have?
Well, my pick for the NBA Coach of the Year, I have to go with the Celtics' own Brad Stevens. And the Celtics are 37-20 right now, and they only have one team to beat in the East. And I feel like they have a coach that really comes up with great strategy, and they have the players to execute. Who do you have?
I have to take Quinn Snyder, the head coach of the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz are right now currently the fifth in the Western Conference with a 35-22 record at the halfway point of the season. They let's give you some stats right here. Quinn Snyder got to Utah in 2014. Since he's been there in 2014, Utah in defensive rating, points per game, they've been number one 2014, 2015. 2015, 2016, they were number two in points per game. And this year, they're leading the league in points per game with 95.7 points per game. He's turned this team around. If you go back to a couple years ago, 2013, 2014, they were 18th in the league. 2012, 2013, they were 16th in the league. And 2011, 2012, they were 23rd. The way he's turned this franchise around, the way how bad Utah has been in recent memory, for them to be competing like the way they are in the Western Conference, which is by far the toughest conference in the NBA, I have to go with Quinn Snyder.
But okay, I understand you going with Quinn Snyder, but I don't think they've changed around that much.
How can you?
Compared to Brad Stevens, I don't compare and think that he changed the organization around as much as he did the Celtics.
How?
The Celtics, ever since Doc Rivers left the Celtics, who in your right mind do you replace Doc Rivers with?
Okay,
And they chose Brad Stevens. Now the thing is with Brad Stevens, I like him over Quinn Snyder is because of his reputation. He's been more stable in wherever the places he's been. He's been coaching as an assistant coach and head coach at Butler for 12 years. Okay. And now compared to Quinn, he's bounced around. Before he ended up with the Jazz, he's been on 4 different teams. He was an assistant coach for the 76ers, the LA Lakers, overseas in Moscow, and Atlanta. That sounds like an unstable coach to me.
How is he unstable?
If you're good and you're a valuable coach, someone is going to keep you.
Okay, but
and you're bouncing around from assistant to assistant. You would eventually get a head position, and now he has one.
Okay, but
with Brad Stevens though, he spent 6 years as an assistant and spent 6 years as a head coach at Butler, one organization to the main line to an NBA team.
Okay, but that's fine. So but people always take different routes to the top, man. You can't just say because he's been assistant here and assistant here.
So I guess the saying must be true. You have to fail to succeed.
No, but
it seems like he's.
How is it failing? The man.
Look here.
He has the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz as the 5th seed in the Western Conference with Golden State, Oklahoma City, the Houston Rockets. Memphis is having a great year this year. Come on now.
You just named every team in the West that they cannot beat. They've lost twice to the Memphis Grizzlies, and Memphis is behind them. And I feel like they've lost to them twice. They haven't won a game against Memphis. Memphis will eventually kick it in, and they will surpass the Jazz. They're high right now, but compared to their schedule, they've won games. They've won games that they should win. They beat inconsistent teams, and the teams that are ahead of them: Golden State, Spurs, Houston Rockets, Clippers. And they might get some games on Clippers. They've already beat the Clippers, but I do not feel in a playoff series they will beat them.
I'm not worried about the playoffs right now. I'm just talking about who should be coach of the year.
Their coach will not outcoach the other elite teams' coaches.
Okay, that's fine though. We're talking about Utah. Utah had been good since the last time Utah made the playoffs was 2011, 2012, and the starters for Utah that year: Devin Harris, Josh Howard, Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, and Al Jefferson. Come on now.
For the Celtics, these players that I'm about to name were not on the team before Brad Stevens got there. Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford, Avery Bradley, Jay Crawford, Marcus Smart. These are all players that have faded over to the Celtics team and are now competitors. And the number 2 seed
what you
behind
just said? You know what you just said to me?
behind the championship Cavaliers.
Isaiah Thomas, legitimate MVP candidate. Al Horford, 3-time All-Star. Jay Crowder's no scrub. Avery Bradley's no scrub. You want me to name who's on Utah right now?
I have a question though. One question. Is Rondo a scrub?
No. But
he can't get along with any coach. It takes a special coach to deal with talented players.
But Rajon Rondo is gone now. He's gone now. He's in Chicago. Well, that's all the time that we have. Thank you for joining us here at NSEN. Tune in next week for another great show.
Ooh.